Alright, so here we are, back at it again today with another daily upload. And today we're looking at what happens during castle time, the bread and butter role-playing part of AIC. So for this video, we'll be looking into castle as an activity, not as like the literal structure itself, as you can see here. It is what the kids do, how they spend their time, how they have fun, what's going on, what the role-playing is, what the activity is at AIC. That's what we're looking at today in this video. So, before we get into what's in that activity, I want to just give you another quick overview of like how activities work at AIC. So essentially our days are structured around our activities. We have 3 different activities: armory, castle, and games, and the way they fit into the days changes throughout the week depending on like how things are going. So we'll either do tri-phase days. Normally at the start of the week, the first couple days are tri-phase, so the houses are split up, and then they will move through each one of the 3 different activities. So each house will get a different first activity, one house at armory, one house at castle, one house at games, and then they'll switch throughout the day so that everyone gets a chance to participate in every single one of the activities at the camp. And so then, a day or 2 in, when they have been to each one of the activities at least once, and they know how everything goes, then we switch to Game Then Bliss days. At Game Then Bliss days, everyone gets together for a big old game in the morning, and then in the afternoon, or the campers all split apart. They tell their counselor what they want to do, and they'll go off to each one of these activities, which are all like controlled by counselors who stay at the activities permanently. But so because of that, the kids can literally decide wherever they want to go, whichever the activity that they had the most fun at, that's where they can be. So games is eternally popular. Lots of fighting goes on. And so lots and lots of campers will go to games. So sometimes they'll have like a second match of Capture the Flag, or a ton of Killmeister, or skirmishes, or something, whatever else. Depending on just what's occurring for that day and what the game master feels comfortable game mastering for the afternoon. But castle is another activity which is also maybe slightly less popular than games, but also very popular. And in my opinion, it has the potential to be the funnest of the 3 activities if everything goes well, if everyone's into it. But that's the trick, because there's so many different things you can do at castle, and some of them are really cool, and some are fun for some people and not for others. But here are a couple examples from videos drawn from the past of different things that can go on at AIC during castle. So obviously castle isn't castle without the castle. So with castle time, you need a castle. And so the first couple days, there's a lot of building that goes on. And obviously the castle itself needs to get built and skinned. They cover all the walls in cardboard, so it looks like a cardboard castle on the outside. But more so than just covering the castle in cardboard, each one of the kids, if they want to, can privately build their own shop, store, house, whatever. Also casinos. Casinos actually get put up. They're all fake casinos, so no money ever gets traded at AIC. It's all fake plastic gold coins that get shopped about. But they can build whatever they want and sell whatever they want. Lots and lots of artisanal crafts get made. So kids will like make really pretty swords or daggers or like paper mache stuff, and then sell it at shops at the castle. And different weeks, different shops will arise depending on different kids who want to build different stuff. Some weeks there's a massive bustling commerce section, and some weeks there's one kid who doesn't really get a whole lot of business. It just depends on who's there and who wants to do stuff. So here's some videos of just sort of the ambiance inside of an afternoon at castle, with a casino right here on the floor and some shops out on the far wall. So here's that.
This was on your back.
So, generally speaking, the castle activity is a fair bit less gamey than literal games is. So, it's not all-out combat, it's not all-out war. It's a lot more peace-loving citizens than just a bunch of angry mobs. But that doesn't mean combat doesn't take place, because we just armed all these kids with cardboard swords and weapons and stuff, and they are itching to use them. But at Castle, they get to use them in ways that are more open to their personal interpretation, which is really awesome. You could call it training, but it really is more like playing. In this particular clip, there's some kids practicing with bows and arrows and stuff, just to be able to get to use them in games. And there are often dueling circles during Castle. But the crazy thing that sometimes happens, and you only see it for a couple seconds here, is this huge dynamic between the castle guards, which are often run by a camp counselor, and then the bandits. Sometimes the guards will hire kids who are mercenaries to go fight and to go capture the bandits, because the bandit king will either be a kid or it'll be a counselor who takes off a different section of kids who want to be a little bit more antagonistic, and they'll go rob the stores, or they'll go assassinate some of the store people. All very consensual assassinations and robbing, so no hard feelings are ever caused by the bandits. In fact, sometimes the guard will be like really, really corrupt. Like, I think in this particular clip, you see the guard like demanding that people pay their absorbently high taxes. And sometimes the bandits will be more like justice fighters and fight off the evil tyrannical guard or the evil tyrannical overlords who are ruling over the castle. It really just depends on who's there, what kids want to do, and how the week goes. It changes so much from week to week. Castle is the thing that changes the most. Armory is almost exactly the same every week. Games can really change depending on who's there, but Castle can completely change depending on who's there. And so some weeks they're massive castle guards, and in this week I think they're like 3 or 4 people. So here's that.
Royal guards to the top of the keep. They're refusing to pay taxes. All royal guards assemble.
Okay, what's on your
Refusing
key?
to pay their taxes. Royal guards assemble.
It like went straight and then
So, commerce is also a very large part of Adventures in Cardboard Castle play. Everybody loves stores and shops. Most of the time, people just love making them, but sometimes the shops actually sell stuff that people think is worth buying. We get a lot of strange financial shenanigans here at Castle in ASE, and one year it got really, really bad. And by bad, I mean hilarious. Here's a wonderful video recorded by a Castle news crew of the Castle banker. I think this is like 5+ years ago. This has been a long time ago. But the banker explains the current financial situation of the realm, and it is pretty tragic, but it's also pretty hilarious. So here's that.
Please explain your current plight of this situation.
Well, you see, with the new edition, with the revolution happening, there's no police power to enforce the loans that have been taken out, leaving me greatly in debt. See, I'm currently loaning out over 800 gold pieces. For reference, there's only 200 gold pieces in the realm. But if none of that is actually collected, we're going to face a massive economic crisis. I'm talking massive hyperinflation, starvation, widespread death. It's going to be awful. And we only have... Do you mind? I'm sorry, I'm boring.
I'm boring.
Don't... Tim, I think I feel a seat there. What was he saying?
I don't know.
Something about economic?
I just do the audio. I don't know what he's saying.
I'm talking economic crisis. Do you mind? That is quite in my face.
Tim, you gotta get the mic closer, you're not picking it up.
Hear you.
Ah.
So with the current unrest in the castle and the usurpation of the throne, what is your prediction for this year's Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl? I think I'm more in favor of the Doom Call. There's no day past Friday.
Yeah, the Doom Call are pretty strong nowadays. They got that new Saber Master, and he's gonna cut them up real good.
Therefore, my prediction for the Super Bowl is widespread mass extinction.
Oh, I love it when a game gets down to mass extinction, don't you guys?
Also, we often get entertainers at the castle. A lot of the time, this is role-playing by counselors. We'll get bards. Like, I think both of these people are counselors. We actually have hired professional bards, just musicians, to come in and play instruments and stuff for the kids sometimes. But a lot of the times, the counselors will just bring in banjos and harmonicas and just kind of sing their hearts out about random AIC stuff. Sometimes really talented kids will bring their own instruments into camp or beguile their teammates and adversaries with their skills. This particular video is of two counselors singing the very famous, very well-known, and completely not made up on the spot Ballad of the House of Sanglier. So here's that.
With sharpened teeth, they defeat their foe and shout Ootlaga where'er they go. Ootlaga, 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 Ootlaga. With goblin kind they are entwined, but have no fear when death draws near. With bravest hearts they will charge ahead and will not cease till the foe is dead. Ootlaga, 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 Ootlaga.
There's a lot more that can be done at Castle. There are like so many different activities, and I sort of just brushed over 4 of the very common ones. It's extremely open to your own interpretation of what you want to do at Castle, and I hope later this year and in coming years that more effort and energy will be put in on the part of the counselors to like fostering some more coherent game modes, so it'll make easier for kids to like jump in and do like roleplay stuff, sort of like D&D, but not quite. I don't know. I think Castle has so much potential, and I'll be really excited to see what happens with it in the next couple of years. But that's it for me today. I'm advertising the House of Hakarl Ikarik worn baseball cap merch, I guess, today. But as always, you can find all their merch on their website. They also have an Instagram and a YouTube. You're on my YouTube. I also have an Instagram. I also have an email. All my links are in the description. Yeah, I think that's it for me today. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck.